Typically, the line coach is the most interesting guy.
There you go. Hey, I like that. Oh, gosh, we'll get some emergency brake on this thing. What can I do?
What kind of progress have you seen your younger guys make from the line?
Yeah, you look at really three areas when you talk about progress. You talk about operations, you talk about run game, and you talk about pass protection, right? And from an operational standpoint, our young guys, we're really not jumping off sides anymore. We're not blowing assignments anymore. We're on the right guys. We're hatting guys up. So from an operational standpoint, we've been making a lot of strides with our young guys. From a run game standpoint, again, we're on the right guys. We've got to do a little bit better job of fitting, refitting blocks, finishing blocks, right? Because we're still at, with these guys, the early stages of their learning. We're at if you're in 12 grades of school, they're in third grade right now with me. So, then we're talking about the young guys, right? Your freshmen and all those. So, they're in that third, fourth grade right now. They're learning how to fit, finish, drive, fit your double teams, all those different things. So from a run game standpoint, we're getting better as a unit with the young guys. From a pass pro standpoint, that's an area that, as you guys know, that's a never-ending learning process with pass protection. It's the hardest thing that's done out on the football field, in my opinion. Trying to go backwards versus a guy that runs probably a second faster than you and is a lot lighter on his feet than you and nimble and trying to protect a spot right there. That's something that we continue to build on, and we continue to work from a technique standpoint with our young offensive linemen. But, we're starting to get some of those guys back. Gio's coming back from an injury, and that's good to get him back out there. We like him. Schmo's the guy, Schmo Ranzer, he's the guy that's coming back, and he's done a great job for us this offseason. So we're really back at full strength right now. So now we're really able to get out there and mix it up with all of our boys.
I think I read online, this is why I'll ask you about it because I don't always know if what they say online is accurate, but it said that your quarterbacks have been blitzed about 26% of the time. Does that line up with what you've seen? Are teams mostly just rushing forward against you guys?
Yeah, we'll see a variety. I would say that's probably, I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but I would say it's probably somewhere in that 1 out of every 3 plays, somewhere around there that they're going to blitz. Obviously, the success in our passing game probably has something to do with that as well, but that's probably, just from watching the last 4 games, I would say that's probably a pretty accurate number.
So does that, when you look at some of the pressure that Eli's been under, does that sort of reflect guys just not winning one-on-one? Is that what you're running into?
Yeah, again, it's a marathon when you talk about pass protection, right? And building your pass protection, it's something that we've put a lot of effort into, and quite frankly, we need to put more effort into it, from my technique standpoint. So really what we've got to do is just refine our technique. We're working on that, this week, last week, of making sure that, we're making the first meaningful touch in pass protection. We're square to line of scrimmage. We're going out and creating separation from the defense line and our quarterback, right? Those things that you repeat over and over and over again, after a while, they really start to take hold as just a part of who they are. And that's kind of the process we're working through right now is, just refining our technique and refining all that stuff. So
both Ryan Jacoby and Jason have played a little bit of that left guard spot. What have you seen from both of them?
Yeah, Ryan's a physical player, and he's like one of those old school offensive linemen that, if they still had the straight bars down the middle of the face mask, you'd see him in one of those. He's got the elbow pads and all that stuff, looks like Macho Man. So he's an old school offensive lineman who's physical. He's had some injury issues that have kind of held him back over the last couple of weeks, but he's fully released right now, and I look forward to watching him continue to play. As far as Collier goes, he's a finishing type football player. Like he does it. I think he's got second in pancakes on the offense line right now because he stays active, and that's one of his strengths is he's always looking for work, right? If something happens on a line game and somebody's looping over there free, he'll go chase him down and knock the crap out of him. Like he's an active player, and he's always looking for something. So I enjoy watching him play.
Who's the leader in pancakes?
The leader in the pancakes right now is Ryan Baer. He's got 20 right now over 4 games, so he's in the lead right now.
Progress over the first 4 games.
Well, I can't speak highly enough of Lyndon Cooper and the job he's done at that center spot, and just where we've come from with him. When we first got him, he was a little bit passive in pass protection, and he was a little unsure about what to do. And we've built his confidence up, and we've built his technique up to now he's one of the dominant centers in the conference, I think, right now with how he plays. So I look forward to just finishing the year with him and having an entire another year with him as well next year and seeing how far he can go, because he's kind of like Jacoby, one of those old school guys. He wants to finish every block. He wants to play through the whistle. And you guys that have been here a while, you know that's always one of my things for the offensive line is I want to see toughness. I want to see finish. I want to see 6 seconds of work and not giving up on blocks.
Lyndon's been one of the guys more noticeable, quick getting up the field as well, leading blocks. I mean, how important is that, getting further downfield for your line?
Yeah, go back to, again, what we've talked about the last couple times that we've all met is something that's important to me is I don't need big, giant, bulldozers. I'm looking for like, I don't know, what's kind of a car that's big but also fast, like a Bronco, something like that. Like something that's big but can also move is kind of what I'm looking for on the offensive line. So Cooper fits that bill. He's a 300-pound guy, but he can also get out there, like you're saying, and lead block and get on the edge and pull and pass protect with some speed. So he's a guy that fits what we're looking for on our offensive line as far as the athleticism and the strength to be able to stand up against the big nose guards like we'll see, this week.
Jay Williams obviously has a lot of experience for some of the guys just a sophomore. What do you like? What do you see?
BJ's got the most violent hands that I've ever seen a guard play with. Like his ability to put his hands on you and strike you and create separation is unparalleled on our offensive line. Like, and we always talk about, separation equals time. Meaning if I can get the defensive lineman away from me, I've got time to recover from any sort of bad body position that I've got. And that's what he's so good at is creating that separation to buy himself time to recover if he gets in bad position. So his hands are unbelievable. And then just he's hungry. He's always in there trying to learn. He's always in there trying to study tape and see what he can do better at. He's asking questions. He's not just going out there assuming that he knows everything.
Overall, you seem pretty optimistic, pretty positive about your group. You surprised they're giving up 12 sacks already?
Yeah, obviously that's not what we want to do. We want to keep in that first year, you want to be somewhere around 7-8% of your attempts, in that first year, and then kind of go to, the 5%, then down into 3% of your attempts being sacks. So we're a little bit ahead of that right now, and obviously that's not where I want to be at as an offensive line coach. But what else can you do? You can dwell on it, or you can move forward and say, here's what we got to do to continue to get it fixed, and that's what we're doing right now with our individual time is we're putting a lot of effort into pass protection, maintaining our blocks, and sustaining in pass protection for 6 good seconds.
The additional for Coach. Coach, thank you for your time.
Love it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.